Well. Welcome back from a long hiatus. I'm here with the Lazy Boy. This is Keoni, and go ahead, Lazy Boy. Just go ahead and get it started. Just go ahead, do your victory lap, because
Hey,
you've been wanting to text me
hey, it was
frivolously
a
all
good
day.
a good game. It really showed some some kind of like some good things and bad things about us. One particular, losing our quarterback. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if that's gonna affect us, but we'll see in the near future. But
Yeah, it's gonna affect
I
you.
know Brock didn't come in and like put up any numbers. I mean, our defense pretty much showed up in the second half, like we're known for. So, you know, get that win.
Well, I'll tell you this. Speaking from a person who's experienced to going through three quarterbacks in one season, like the Dolphins have, that was a good game. Barring everybody having their conniptions and falling apart, Dolphin fans, settle down. Don't panic. You're allowed to have a stinker. Okay, you're allowed to. You've had one stinker with your starting quarterback. This was it. A lot of good and bad and ugly in that game. First half, they couldn't stop Joey Bosa. Of course, people would say, well, duh, but that is attributed to the Dolphins missing both their tackles. But you've also had a week to plan it. The chipping was not working. They went away from that and kind of slowed Bosa down in the second half, which I was glad that even when you get a loss, you want to look for what adjustments did you make to give me hope that this won't be a continual thing. They slowed Joey Bosa in the second half. Jalen Waddle, I don't know what was going on between him and Tua. It was about 19 incompletions on,
Yeah,
a lot of wide open
Tua
passes.
Tua was he looked like he was a little rusty. Like he missed a couple good some throws and
I think
they
in the
weren't
beginning
catching
it
either.
has to
So
do with timing. I know
yeah,
Joey Bosa that I've got to get the ball out quick was in his head, but he was still hitting Jalen on the fingers,
yeah, yeah.
in the hands. And you can talk about great defense all you want. Great defense, wide open passes being dropped. You kind of, it's neither here nor there. But that is,
That's them here in the secondary. When you hear those feet, you drop the ball.
yeah.
That's psychological defense.
Oh, get out of here. Anyway, right. Yeah, he played at Alabama. Yeah, he's never played where a good defense might be hitting him. Yeah. Okay. Anywho, good one there, sports fan.
It
Sometimes you turn from analyst back into sports fan. But
it,
anyway,
it just
um,
hey I had so many guys other than you. I had a lot of Dolphins people reaching out to me, telling me they're gonna put about 40 on us.
what are they supposed to? They're fans.
Hey, you're supposed to call it like you see it. I mean, I didn't think we'd be in the game like that.
I didn't think. What do you mean you didn't think you'd be in the game? What do
I
you?
didn't think,
What
I
football
knew.
have y'all been watching?
Look, I didn't think it would be, our defense would step up like that. Like we
Jason,
had,
Jason. If the Dolphins have beaten the Bears by a score,
y'all
the
came back on the
Lions by a
Ravens
score.
like y'all came
No,
back
no,
on
no,
the
no, no, no,
Ravens
no, no,
down
no,
from
no,
like
no, no, no. What would not make you think y'all would not be in that game?
no, we were going to be in the game, but I didn't think we would our defense would shut it down like that
Why not?
because your offense is like top three offense. Like
And your
wow,
defense is like top three
I
defense.
mean, but our secondary is suspect. As you can see, Tyreek Hill still had a game on us.
Yeah, and then Tua had the two interceptions. One was a bad throw, and one was the receiver fell down. So, I mean, the running back fell down, and he threw it right to the scarlet and whatever red
He was
color
like
that
Fred
is.
Warner was like, "Thank you."
But hey, the final score does not suggest that game. That game was really close. Listen, I'm gonna speak from a Dolphin fan perspective, of course. If you told me before the game the Dolphins were going to turn the ball over four times, they would
I
have
would,
three
yeah.
interceptions and a fumble loss. I would have thought you guys won 40-10.
Well,
It was a 24 to 23, sorry, 23 to 17 ball game with about 3 minutes left. And Mike Gesicki, not blaming him, but that fourth down pass is dropped. And then who knows? You go from there. Let's say the Dolphins, let's just give them the highest score to get a touchdown. You're talking about a 24-23 ball game, and keeping it moving. But that dropped fourth down changed the end of that game.
Yeah, yeah,
I was impressed with them
and
going forward on fourth and one on their own 20.
yeah,
Oof,
and
oof.
kudos to Robbie Gold too, man. He kicked like 3 field goals. Like we needed those. Like those were clutch. So that kind of put it separated us a little bit because y'all got within 7, and then kicking those field goals would do the same.
That's how playoff football works. Look at all the great offenses that have ran into great defenses in the playoffs. I mean, remember the score from the Tennessee Titans in the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
Remember the score from the Patriots in the greatest show on turf. So it balances out. So I didn't think either team would pull away from the other, whether Jimmy G was in there or not.
Unfortunate for Jimmy G. I mean, that man worked hard to get a job back, and for him to suffer like a injury like that. It didn't look that bad, but then slow mo. I thought it was ankle, but they said it's foot. So
Hey, you got 9,000 pounds that fell on your ankle.
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
bad. But
So
now,
my
now,
question is, let us
yeah,
borrow Teddy Bridgewater for the rest of the season. How about
you
that?
can have them. You can
We
have
need
them.
we need so I mean I didn't really do my homework on Brock Purdy, but I know he's Mr. Irrelevant. Uh
Well, you know what? Fans will do this. Well, he played a great game. But yeah, guys, we've seen backups over the entire history of the NFL come in and play a great game or two. The Matt Flynn's of the world, you know, they come in. Matt Flynn came in and threw what 6, 7 touchdowns. What was that?
mm.
And all of a sudden, he was going to be the second coming. What happened there? So we always have to pump our brakes when the third string quarterback that no one's prepared for comes in. And they didn't lose Christian McCaffrey, so they still had to respect that. The one thing that did upset me about the Dolphins defense is they're going to run the ball, and they were getting chunk plays in the run. That's the thing that was annoying me. They need Byron Jones back like yesterday. I never thought one cornerback would make our defense look this bad.
Well, we really didn't what's the word I'm looking for? We really didn't establish the run as much as normal, but like that other than that counter that Christian McCaffrey ran in the third quarter, that was about it. They pretty much ran the
Well,
screenplay.
you haven't established the run it over the last 5 games. They've held Christian McCaffrey under 50 yards rushing.
Yeah, well,
So
Chris,
the
yeah, he
run.
plays. I'm usually he's the first half guy, and then Wilson comes in and finishes the game up. But like Wilson's hurt, so like they brought in. I can't even remember the third string running back. I
You said
I'm like,
Wilson's hurt.
yeah,
Wilson's on our team. You
not
traded him
Wilson,
to
not
us.
Wilson. I'm
Oh,
tripping.
I get what you're saying. I was
Yeah,
like, what are you trying to? What does he change jerseys and go to the other sideline every time the other team gets on offense? I
yeah,
think that's illegal.
Christian played he's the first half guy. They played him a little bit in the second half, but they brought the rookie in to finish the game up, and you know, I haven't seen our running backs go over 100 yards since Mostert and Wilson. So
Well, that's okay. We will see you in the Super Bowl. Let's get into our recap. All right, let's do some recaps. Bills 24, Patriots 10, Packers 28, Bears 19, Steelers 19, Falcons 16, Jets 22 versus the Vikings 27. Close battle in Minnesota with Mike White almost leading a comeback multiple times in the last couple of minutes. What is the quarterback situation in New York at 10 and 2, making the Vikings, the Vikings have the second best record in the NFC. Do you think they are good enough to make the Super Bowl? So we have New York Jets quarterback situation, and are the Vikings good enough to go to Super Bowl? Let's start with the New York Jets. You stay with Mike White, even though he threw the interception, even though that team responds to him way better than Wilson. even though
Well,
Wilson has been the best Wilson quarterback in football this year, um, you would you would still stay with Mike White. He's gonna throw the interception every once in a while, but you're gonna stay with him.
yeah, team wise, man, I'd stay with Mike White because uh, obviously Wilson still doesn't still doesn't show like team morale or anything. He didn't take accountability for anything last couple weeks ago, and it's just that's as a as a teammate that just doesn't sit well. It
The
wouldn't
team
sit
looks
well with me.
happier. Team
Yeah,
looks happier.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, team looks
I'd
happier.
stay with him. Shop that kid somewhere else.
I think Minnesota makes too many knucklehead plays to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think they can beat the Eagles. I don't think they can beat the Cowboys. I don't think they can beat the Commanders. Could they beat any team coming from the NFC South? Yes. Could they beat any team coming from the NFC West? Yes. Could they beat any team coming from the NFC North? Yes. I think the NFC East is the problem for the Minnesota Vikings. What do you say?
Well, obviously they're going to win their division. As
Yeah.
far as getting past getting there's about two or three teams. One you didn't mention, but we're not going to say anything. But yeah, they won't get past about two or three teams there in the NFC. So I mean,
I think the Vikings defense is good enough to beat the Niners. That's a toss-up game to me.
well, you know what? I can't.
You know
Let
what?
me
That
take that back.
Niners Viking
Yeah.
game. This sounds so cliche, but I think it fits appropriately. Whoever doesn't make the most mistakes, because you can still
Well,
make the
yeah.
most mistakes and win a
Now
game.
in hindsight, without a veteran quarterback, we're on. I'm on. Yeah, I'm really like in limbo right now. But Dallas, the way they're playing, good. I don't. Man, that'll be tough to try to get past them.
Yeah, but when it's important, they tend to. Are they gonna do Dallas things? Are they?
Oh yeah.
Will they
I
be
mean, their
distracted?
defense is just about they're right neck and neck with us. And man, I mean
I
they
think your
put up
defense is
33
better
points
than
in
them.
the they put up.
I think your defense is better than them. Dallas's defense is excellent when they have the lead and you know that team's got to pass. I'm not I don't believe in their run defense as much as I do the 49ers run defense.
I agree. I agree.
They're probably
I
going to
just
get
know.
distracted. When they get to the playoffs, they're going to get asked 9,000 questions about Jerry Jones sitting on the steps stopping black kids from going into class. Ah,
Yo, like who has that picture just like handy just for bam, just like that. It's like
well,
bam.
it's the internet. Everything's scanned in now.
They knew
Here's
that
the
was Jerry
problem.
Jones. Like, did Jerry
You
Jones say
you
that?
when Dominic Foxworth said he was a little intimidated when he was head of the Players Association when he had the first meeting with all the owners, and then they started talking, and he said, "I realize they're just as dumb as I am." You have a $1 billion owner who's in his 70s, who's been around long enough, and he doesn't know how to answer questions. What you could easily say, I'm 70 years old. I was 14 then. I was a product of my environment. I have learned over the last 60 plus years that that's not the way to act and be. What do you say? I was there because none of us knew what was going on and we were curious. Like,
I
what?
I
What?
like boys. I mean the Cowboys. I like.
We were curious. You live in a small town. When someone farts, everybody knows about it.
Everybody's looking.
What do you mean you didn't know what was going on and you were just curious?
Oh
Oh
man,
my God. Like, who are the PR for these people? I should be paid six figures to teach these people how to answer questions.
it was like I was just
Ridiculous.
like a picture surface. I'm like, is that Jerry Jones? It might be a picture from the Andy
No,
Griffith
those
show.
are
Who
him and his
knows?
ears and his smile. As soon
Yeah.
as he smile on camera, like
It
that's
might be
him.
a steal from the Andy Griffith show or something, man. Who knows what that was, man? They
There were no
knew
black
exactly
people in
what.
that show either.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
the Lions 40 versus Jaguars 14. Bailey's like, I picked a good day to have tonsil problems. I didn't want to get into that discussion. He's in the shadows. Um, Lions 40, Jaguars 14. Lions dominant and win and really turning their season around, winning four of their last five with almost beating the Bills Thanksgiving Day. Do you think they are finally figuring out how to be a good team? I don't know. The thing with teams when your season looks virtually over is you have nothing to lose, right? So you play with the freedom, a sense of freedom. You're able to take risk. Teams who are in leads or have seasons on the line, they tend over the history of the NFL to be more conservative. And so you see a lot of closer games. You don't see a lot of 40 plus games unless the team's just overwhelmingly dominant.
Yeah.
So, but I look, I think the Lions, I don't know the stat, but the Lions have lost a lot of one score games. If you look at a lot of good teams in the league, one score, if you flip it, a lot of teams with really good records could have really bad records.
Here's our Where's Bo segment. And they didn't really make it. I mean, Jacksonville really didn't. I mean, I feel bad for them Jags, man.
Why?
Ugh, it's just it's that they got it. Something has to happen.
Why? I don't feel
They're
bad
gonna.
for teams anymore. Did anybody tell you they felt bad for you when you guys stunk for a decade?
Oh, of course not. I mean, but
Okay, so then don't feel bad for anybody else.
yeah. I'm just a football fan that wants to see good football, and
Nah,
that
I
was
got
not
you.
good football.
I got you. I totally
I didn't
understand where
put
you're
that.
going.
Hey, Gil, I didn't put that game on at Buffalo. That's like, cause like how people come in. Hey, I want to watch this. I want to watch that, and I'm like,
Uh huh.
yeah, we don't have enough receivers for that game. So
For
if
those of you
somebody,
who are totally confused on what Jason's talking about, he is the TV wrangler at Buffalo Wild Wings in Fayetteville. When he's not there, the coordination of the football on the screens is an utter disaster. So he's there
I
on.
used I used that extra receiver for U.S. the World Cup. So the Detroit and Jacksonville game didn't get played. I put the U.S. Cup on
You
the
know
World
what's
Cup
always
on.
funny to me when you're in a sports bar on a football Sunday or college
Oh
football
my god!
Saturday,
Every time.
and there's that one guy that gets mad because he's watching the main volleyball girls tournament,
Look,
and he gets mad if you turn the channel. I'm like, if you're that set on watching the Connecticut girls volleyball tournament, you probably need to pay for a sports package.
we we always got that one. Hey man, the race is on.
Yeah. And you're like, do you not understand? It's bowl weekend in
Like,
college
you gonna put
football.
the race on, man? I've been wanting to watch Talladega. Wait, what? On Sunday, football Sunday? Oh man. Hey, look, your buddy's notorious
No,
that
wait,
for that too.
listen. That's
If
not
Chris
as
is watching,
bad.
Chris comes in. Hey, Jason, put on the rugby.
Look, that's not as bad if it's Talladega or a big Formula One. At least everyone's heard of it. But when you need to watch, the Mid Tennessee State Golf Classic, there's a problem there. you know, Deshaun Watson returned to Texans per our policy. As soon as we say Deshaun Watson, we move on to the next topic. Other scores: Commanders tie the Giants. That's just that's NFC East for you. Oh, what a surprise! The Broncos lose again, 9-10. A lot of baseball scores
On a
in the
cliffhanger.
Broncos'
A
future.
cliffhanger.
Yeah, we've already talked about Dolphins, Niners, Seahawks beating the Rams. The Rams are just
They
take the
said that's the
season off,
worst start of a
guys.
Super Bowl champion team.
Yeah. And for everyone who likes to make fun of the Dolphins, yeah, they're Chargers, who they love to throw Justin Herbert in our face. The Chargers lose to the Raiders 27-20, and the Bengals outlast the Chiefs 27-24. You know what I'm going to say about, and I don't have a dog in the race. I'm not a Chiefs fan or a Bengals fan. One of the things I've noticed in a lot of games that annoys me, that first down that sealed the deal, if you go back and watch that on YouTube, watch that defender let up. And defenders have to let up so much because if they sneeze too hard, it's roughing the passer.
Yeah.
And he let up just enough for Joe Burrow to get that pass off into that window. And
Yeah, he pulled. Yeah, yeah. I noticed how he
if he
kind
would have
of got.
just went in like they normally do, that's a sack or an
Hmm.
incomplete pass. But he let up within those last two steps, and that gave him enough time to throw the ball.
Hmm.
But a lot of people don't know. Of course, if you're the winning team, you don't notice that. You just go, "Oh, Joe Cool, you go with the narrative. But that's what I see when I'm watching objectively two teams that I don't have a rooting interest in play.
It was a decent game. I mean, just I guess they got a formula to beat the Chiefs. Joe Burrow. I mean, hey, I don't believe in the Joe Cool thing. I mean,
Well, I
he's
do. Look, no, no,
just
no,
a
no, no. I don't
it's a
want to take that away
horseshoe.
from him.
Just a
He's cool under pressure. He's got the it factor, but in football, there's a lot of things that come into play. And that was one of them that I was looking at for that. Hey, you can beat the Chiefs three times in a row, be that team, but remember, once you've done it, you got to keep doing it. So if they meet in the AFC Championship, it doesn't guarantee you a fourth time.
yeah.
So if the
When
Chiefs
it
get
comes
that
to
one, who
this year,
cares?
when it comes to the Chiefs this year, we can go to the next subject too. So yeah,
Oh wow, that's how you feel?
yeah.
All right.
No, man, no. It's football's football. I mean, they put it on us. So that was our last loss, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, let's get into some college. Oh yeah, and the Cowboys. Yeah, let's throw the Cowboys in there. They beat the Colts
Woo!
54-19. Yay, the
Woo!
Cowboys. All right. Anyway, college football, Michigan wins the Big Ten championship, 43-22 over Purdue. Georgia dominates LSU 50-30 for the SEC title. Kansas State beats TCU 31-28 for the Big 12. That was a damn good game.
Yeah.
TCU quarterback, so much respect. I watched that entire game. That last drive, amazing. So the top four final rankings: Georgia 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3, which means they'll play Michigan. Ohio State will play Georgia.
They
Now, if
got the
Ohio State upsets Georgia, TCU beats Michigan, that would be funny. What are your predictions?
well, I don't think TCU has a horse in this race. It's
Oh my
pretty
God.
much.
Then you haven't watched TCU
I
apparently.
mean, I mean, you don't. You think TCU has a horse in this race against Ohio? They're playing Ohio State, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that they were the only team that were 5-2 against top 25 ranked teams.
I mean, when it gets down to these last couple games, that's when, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Michigan. I got Michigan running away with the national championship over Georgia.
You said running. So that you just let everyone in college football know how much you watch college football when you just made the statement Michigan running away with it versus Georgia.
Yeah, yeah.
So apparently
I
you've never watched Georgia.
No, I know Georgia football. I just know that Jim Harbaugh is a great coach, and
Are
he
you
has
saying
given a
that
lot of
because he
weapons.
coached the Niners?
No,
Now it's making
no,
sense to me now.
no. He's finally got. Well, he's minus a running back. Let me take that back. He's minus a running back, but like they got a high powered offense that could probably
And Georgia doesn't?
Georgia has a great offense. I mean, I just feel like Michigan. This might be Michigan's time. I just
Okay,
feel it.
there's a
I'm feeling it.
difference between saying this could be Michigan's year
I
where
got
they
a
may
feeling.
win the national championship than
Just a
saying they're
hunch.
going to run away.
Just a hunch. Just a hunch, man. Just a hunch. People can have a hunch. I can't have a hunch.
But what's the basis of your hunch?
I just told you. I said Michigan has a great offense. I mean, minus their. I mean, they have two great running backs that they average 100 yards a game. I mean, I know I've watched Michigan football. I know
I
Georgia has
can't
an
wait
awesome
till
defense.
more people watch this show so they can see this episode. I wish more people are watching this episode right now and hearing what you just said that Michigan would run
Is it
away.
is it is it is it is it bad that I don't? I mean, I'm not a Georgia fan. I mean, come
You
on.
don't have to be a Georgia fan to know that Michigan's
I
not
don't
going to
want,
run
as a
away.
fan. I don't want to see Georgia win again. That's it.
Okay, well then say that. Don't say things like
I'm not trying
Michigan's
to
going
sit
to
here and
run
be an
away.
analysis. I'm just saying. I'm saying. I think Michigan could run with this. An opinion.
Of course, Bailey has tonsils problems, and Peter's not here, so I can't get any help on this issue. Okay, so what about the Bama fans? Oh my God, quit crying. Okay,
Yeah,
quit
I
crying.
saw the interview that Nick Saban had. Man, he's like, I don't see why we're not in the.
Nick
We
Saban,
lost by a couple points to the.
every
So
college football playoff doesn't pick a side. If he's in the conference championship with somebody who's not in a conference championship, is in the talks. He says, "Well, I think the conference championship should be considered." If he's not in the conference championship, it's strength of schedule. If he doesn't have the strength of schedule, then it's something else. He's always moving the
he tried to
bar
validate
to
his two losses
why.
that were close to being above TCU and Kansas State. Like, come, dude, you lost two. You lost two, man. You're out
Yes,
at one. You're out of it in one loss. You got beat twice.
yeah,
You're not.
and
Come
we're
on,
not going to
get up.
penalize somebody for losing their conference championship. Okay, we're not. All right. And I was glad that none of them moved and they put Ohio State in because, hey, if Alabama, I'm telling you this, if Alabama only had one loss, they would have put them in over Ohio State just because Ohio
Oh yeah,
State got wrecked by
clearly,
Michigan.
yeah.
They would have put them in. And
Nick
here,
Saban
hey,
makes
Alabama,
waves,
guess
man.
what? If Utah doesn't beat USC, you're still not getting in. And neither is Ohio State. So
Yeah, just
I like
take
it.
it,
We've got
take it, and let's
two,
like start over, redo, man. Just take
right.
it, man.
We've got two new teams in the college football playoffs. And Bama fans, I'll tell you this. With all your crying and pointing out SEC, first of all, I've already said this. I'm sick of you trying to use the narrative of SEC dominance. There's seven teams in there that nobody cares about. Okay, you're top heavy. All right.
Topic,
Every year you try to throw Ole Miss and Mississippi State in our face and place them in the top 15, and they go ahead and lose 4 to 5 games every
right?
year. Okay, so don't do it. Bama fans, you know what you do? You don't lose 2 games. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, man. Go to the when they're in the Sugar Bowl. Go to the Sugar Bowl and just get a trophy, man. That's it. Go get a trophy. They play Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl, so
Well,
good
here's the
luck.
thing. But here's the crappy thing the SEC fans love to do. If they lose the bowl game, oh, we didn't care. We weren't motivated. It wasn't a national championship. As if every SEC team plays for the national championship, right? But then if they win the game, it's SEC dominance.
Right.
Pick a lane.
Yeah.
Which one is it? When you get your ass whipped, you didn't care. And then when you win, it's SEC dominance.
Uh,
Pick a lane. Let's talk about some other football. No?
no.
USA does what USA does. It loses in the round of 16 to the Netherlands. The Netherlands will face Argentina and England versus France. France moves on so far. Next World Cup is 2026 coming to America. How good could they be going into such? Whoa, whoa, producer, producer's sick. You messed me up with that. I don't know what the hell he's trying to tell me. Okay, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am the football aficionado. I do
Mm-mm.
root for the U.S. When they're playing. I was told by many of my friends who watch football that they won't beat the Netherlands, and they did not beat the Netherlands. Of course, those friends wanted them to beat the Netherlands because who doesn't want the USA to win?
Right.
But they lost. I was really rooting for Senegal, but that didn't happen. And I don't know, Bailey, are you saying how will the U.S. do in 2026 with their young team? Is that what you're asking me? What we wanted, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get one of our friends who are more proficient and knowledgeable on football
Good call.
to talk about the World Cup because we're not going to be those people who pretend to know what they're talking about. Like I love on ESPN when someone who doesn't know football talks about it and they name like one player and they say like, "Oh, like Messi and those guys are so dominant, like and those guys, right?" Because they don't know the rest of anybody else on the team. Just like some fans, the 49ers friends of mine, Billy Ames, I'm talking about you, who immediately texts me, "We whooped your ass," and I said, "Name five guys on the team." He could have easily Googled and got five names, but in his arrogance, he texts back, "That's not the point. We won." I said, again, name five guys on the 49ers. Exactly. So you can go sit the hell down.
Oh gosh. Oh man, that's funny. That's
Get to
funny.
some NBA. Celtics hold a 19-5 lead first in the East, with the Bucks right behind at 16-6. Who do you think is the better team when fully healthy? Hey, you know what? I will say this: the Bucks, the Heat, and the Celtics have become a three-way much-watch event, whether regular season or postseason. Hopefully, the Heat can get it together and continue that trend. But when they're both healthy, I say the Milwaukee Bucks. And the only reason why I say that is because historically in basketball, the team with the best player ends up winning the series, not the
I
best.
so far, man, the Celtics are entertaining to watch. Even without kudos to that new coach. Like he's got a system going. Those guys are playing well. Like that's the best. I say the second best duo in the NBA. Jalen Brown and
What's that guy? I can't stand him. He always looks like he's crying on the Celtics or whining about something. He has a really bad shaped body.
who you talking
Williams.
about?
There's two Williams, so
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
say the wrong
yeah,
Williams. The light skinned Williams. He is
yeah.
so amazing. He's got
The
way too
the
much
one that
muscle to
went
be
crazy
such
on
a baby.
LeBron a couple years ago.
The one
He was about
what?
the one that was about to kill LeBron on the court a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's got way too much muscle to be that much of a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I think he's got some stuff up there that
oh my God. He's one of those athletes you can tell once they retire, that's going to be a very weird shaped body. Sorry. I don't know why I brought that up. Nets and 76ers creeping up in the conference. Do you think they are finally getting it together, especially Ben Simmons for the Nets, or do you think they still have a long way to go? The Nets. I'm just any. I feel like the Nets are going to do what the Nets always have done over this last 3 year stretch. They're going to get it going, and then something's going to cause them to be a disaster.
yeah.
Something's going to happen.
I
I
they
don't
say
trust
Ben
them.
Simmons is. They say he's having a little turnaround, but I mean, you're still not gonna. He's not gonna be the Ben Simmons everybody thinks that's gonna happen. So you got to rely on Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and that's only 25, 30 points each, and mathematically that doesn't win a game.
It's a lot of middle buck right now in the NBA. I think after the All Star game, there are some teams that are going to go on runs. Hopefully, the Heat's one of those. I think the 76ers will be one of those. I think Golden State will be one of those. I think the Mavericks will be one of those.
I think the
It looks
Lakers.
like all the. Huh?
I think the Lakers might do it. I think they
No.
might. They
No.
might. They might
No.
make the playoffs this year. I don't think they're gonna win anything, but they'll make the playoffs.
You've had three terrible takes this show. Just anywho, do you even know what your three terrible takes were?
No, no, because
Michigan take
I don't think that was a
number
bad one.
one.
That was an opinion.
We share one. We both mentioned the name Deshaun Watson, even though we didn't have any narrative. It's a terrible take. and the one you just said right now.
Okay. I mean that. Like I said, Michigan is an opinion. Lakers. I think the Lakers could make the playoffs. That's all I
That's
said.
an
I didn't
opinion
say.
too.
I think they'll make the playoffs. Then that's a. I'm not going.
Okay, they'll
I'm
make
not
the
going. Charles
playoffs.
Barkley guarantee. I'm not
They'll
going to Charles
make the
Barkley.
playoffs,
Yeah.
and
That's about it. Then that's a successful season. Well, not successful
the
season, but
Lakers are
that's
going
a
to get into the
success.
play-in game.
That's
That's
a
the
step.
playoffs
That's a
they're going to
step
get
ahead
to.
of what they've been doing since the bubble.
They're going to get in the play-in game. That's the playoffs they're getting to.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Trailblazers have fallen off, losing 7 of their last 10. Does Damian Lillard deserve a better team? Damian Lillard deserves to be out of Portland, but hey, he's a loyal. He's loyal. He's not going to do it. He's
It's gonna
not
end
going to
up
do
like
it.
Kevin Garnett, man. Be there for a long time and just all his,
Damian
he could go.
Lillard needs to be on a different team,
Yeah.
and Luca needs help.
Luca needs help. I agree. That's something I can agree with.
Luca,
That kid brings the ball down, comes down, runs, plays himself, goes and gets the ball back and scores. Like it's
gets all
everybody's
the
watching him
rebounds,
play.
gets all the assists, gets all the
Yeah,
points, gets all the steals.
that man's gonna be he's gonna be tied with Dirk with points before the season's over.
Luka Doncic, him, Jokic, could be in running for best player in the league with Giannis if their teams would just play better.
Yeah,
Warriors starting
yeah,
to show life, winning 7 of the last 10s and sitting in sixth place. It is clear who the most dominant teams are in the East as of now, but the Western Conference is up for grabs as the ninth and 10th place are only 4.5 games back of first. I do think the Eastern Conference is going to start to dominate the next couple of seasons. Hey, we've seen this. We've seen where a conference dominates for a while. That's why when one conference dominates for too long and people start going, oh, they should do away with conference and just put the best 16 teams in, it's like, settle down. It rotates.
yeah,
Just like in the NFL. The NFC used to dominate for so long. And then the AFC started dominating and it flip flops, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, the NBA is just. I mean, I like it the way it is. It's you get the playing thing is entertaining to me. Um, then you get
Why? Because
these.
the Lakers are going to be in it? Is that why?
No, I mean any like who knows who's gonna be. I just like that win or go home mentality basketball. It's like you got to win this game in order to make some noise in this playoffs. So not like back in the '80s where you go through the whoever wins the All Star game gets outright home court advantage. That was
Well,
trash to me back
I
then.
also, but I do like the first round when it used to be 5 games. It's like, get the first round out of here.
Yeah,
Like at the
yeah.
first round, 7 games is definitely is a money grab. The
Mhm.
first round does not need to be 7 game series.
No, 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 no. Yeah, best of
At all.
five. That's good with me. I mean, I just love NBA playoffs is like it's another thing for me. I love watching NBA playoffs. I
Yeah,
watch
it's
the
like
season throughout, but
it's almost like no, not as bad. I'm almost as bad as with college. Like I don't care about college basketball until February.
yeah.
You know. Well, let's get to play of the week. All right, play of the week. So my play of the week, I have 2 of them, and they're actually bad plays of the week because my play of the week isn't always the one-handed catch or the walk-off home run. Sometimes it's the play that sealed the game the other way. And I have 2. We've talked about both games. I have the Dolphins and the Chiefs game. I have the drop pass by Mike Gesicki on fourth down against the Niners when it was 23-17. And then I have the play at the end of the Kansas City Chiefs Bengals game when Joe Burrow completed that pass to Higgins, where you clearly see the defender slowing down, afraid to get a pass interference, thinking he did enough to adjust that pass, and that's why it slipped away. Those are my 2 defining
Well,
plays of the week.
I,
What's
you know, I
yours,
didn't I
Lazy
didn't
Boy?
really see I didn't really see too much of anything but that Bengals play at the end. I can say play of the week if the Giants would have, for my wife, if the Giants would have got a little closer,
Ah,
would if they could have extended the play, they could have got one more play in before he had to kick a 65-yarder rather than, he could have got a little closer. Graham Gano was a great kicker, but he missed the field goal. They had to tie, and yeah.
we didn't talk about the Giants, and you just had to throw that in there for the good old sake of the marriage.
Hey, they tied, babe. They tried hard. They tried really hard.
And wrapping it up, who would have thought at the beginning of the season we would be saying this? Who do you have in this dreadful, I'd rather watch paint dry on the wall Monday night football game? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints.
Good lord. It's time to start flexing on Monday nights too, man. Like, come on, man. Jesus Christ, man. I just knew. Hey, Keoni, I just knew we were gonna get flexed to the 8 o'clock. I just had a feeling, and I was like,
I
well,
don't know why 49ers Dolphins or Chiefs Bengals wasn't
Chiefs Bengals
flexed
didn't get flexed. Yeah,
over
I
the
was like,
Cowboys. I know why, because the Cowboys are America's team. But they're playing the
that's a
Colts.
laugher though, man. It's a laugher, man. No, the Colts, man. Come on, man. Like, that's a noon game that could have just like we could have forgot about that. Long as it came on at noon, so we could forget about it. Now we gotta.
I would have rather watched than watch Cowboys Colts. Watch you play Bailey at badminton. That's what I'd rather have watched.
Man, it was just, I mean, the flex needs to come into play. I mean, I mean, I know Joe Buck and Troy are be like, why are we doing these games? Good God, let's flex to something else. Like, it's Monday. I mean, at least it's not prime games. Monday nights really hasn't been bad this year, but those prime games, good Lord.
Who you got?
I got I got Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay winning 2014.
I got nobody. It's a tie. 13-13.
13-13. Ooh.
Well, if you guys have noticed because of my voice, I am terribly sick. Lazy Boy's sick.
Yeah, got a little cold going on. We're gonna get
Bailey,
we're
the
gonna get past it.
producer king, is sick. But we didn't want to take 3 weeks off. We've been out for a couple weeks. Want to get in here, put in some content. If you want to be a guest on the show, go ahead and email keoniproductions@gmail.com. Again, that's keoniproductions@gmail.com. We take everybody. You don't have to be some known person. And if you want to come on here and talk some sports, let's do it. For the
Doors
Lazy
open.
Boy, what?
Doors open. Come on in, y'all.
Thank you for ruining my exit. For the Lazy Boy and Keoni and Bailey, we'll see you all Thursday for a Thursday night special, probably 6:30 or 7 p.m. It's not NBC. We can pick a time slot we want, and we'll see you soon. Y'all
All
have a
right.
good one.